People want the silver. Yeah. Why do they want the silver? For coins. Well, not that much silver. Somebody's covering a short. Somebody's sourcing silver to cover a lease short, which is why SLV rallied, which is why it led. SLV led for a while there, which is why the EFP, it led even though the EFP was negative. Anyway, I'm jumping all over the place, bringing it back home. If you need your gold to buy tomatoes and I need my gold to buy tomatoes and they've got our gold, well, now we're going to take it. Now there's 5 futures contracts against that gold outstanding there. 4 of them are by a bank and they're using it to do carry trades, rehypothecation. But now they've got to close. They've got to close those because now there's no gold left. Or exaggerated, there's no gold left. What ends up happening is for the last year, I know this has been going on. We've been seeing probably since 2017 in gold and since 2020 in silver, we've been seeing the hot potato. I'm short, and I know this because I've done delivery in silver, and it's a hot potato. I was like, I don't want this. I kept doing that, right? The hot potato is, this is the beauty of precious metals, and I can speak directly to this about silver. I took delivery of silver once, more than once, but the one time I took delivery that was educational was I said, I'm going to take delivery. Big shot, right? So I took delivery on the futures exchange, and I said, when do I get it? Where is it? And I was totally like an idiot. And I was like, well, we don't know if you got it yet. I'm like, what do you mean you don't know if I got it yet? It's like, and then I got an education. The long declares first. The short has time to fill the long. And so the short, so you and I are both playing, we're both shorts, we're both producers. I don't have the silver, you have the silver, I don't have the silver. And then what we do is we go into the futures exchange and we cover our short, and now someone else has the hot potato. And it just keeps getting rotated and rotated around. And every expiration, some contracts come off. This is post Basel III, right? Every expiration, some contracts get retired, right? And I borrow silver from him to make delivery. It's like and the leases go up a little bit. And now you've got this less and less musical chairs is what I want to say, but now you've got this hot potato, but instead of 50 guys passing a hot potato, it's now 2 guys. One of them is smart and one of them is dumb. And the one who's dumb is going to be holding the hot potato, and the hot potato is a bank that blows up. Now, I don't know if a bank will blow up, but it won't be JP Morgan. It won't be BOA even though they're short. They're probably short as a hedge for someone who's buying physical. So what ends up happening is the rehypothecation game, and I say that respectfully, it's a monetary money-making game, dries up. And so we all take our gold out because we want it. Not because we don't trust you. Maybe we don't trust you, but we want it because we're buying our tomatoes with it. And now it's a currency. It's no longer a pet rock. That's the beauty of it. Store of value is a pet rock. It doesn't do anything, right? Well, medium of exchange or settlement medium is a whole different ball game. And it changes. And what it does is it says, I don't need dollars. You'll take silver, right? You walk into a European restaurant, you say, you take dollars? And they say yes, but let's say they didn't. They're like, well, I need to convert them. Then they take dollars, like, oh, I have money. So that's it. That's my emotional take on it.
Well, based on what you just said there, do you think that partially at least explains why one of these features we've seen here is the open interest in silver has been going down quite a bit, getting close to, I think it even dipped below 120,000 contracts at one point. Meanwhile, as you and I have talked about before, we see the COMEX stockpiled dwindling. LBMA, they just had their November numbers out and went from 852 million ounces to 840,000 ounces. Yeah. Are these all connected to basically what you were just getting at?
They're totally connected, and they're connected in multiple ways. Like that's the most obvious way. Well, open interest is going down and silver is leaving the vault. Well, people are taking delivery and they're not coming back. That's a fact, right? That's what that means. That's a correlation that you can debate if there's causality there, but there's correlation there. Okay, next level. The market has less participants in it. The open interest is going down. Well, that's also the open interest part, not the silver leaving the vault part. The open interest part going down post Basel III is also consistent with, not necessarily in silver, but in general, is also consistent with a world that's deleveraging on the financial side. They're not going to have 10 contracts. You're going to have one contract now, All right. And with regards to the Russia and China thing, well, the financial markets are very Western, and the physical markets, generally speaking, are very Eastern, right? So we have built our financial pyramid, the flower, the inverted pyramid, is it Exeter? I keep thinking Gresham because I was talking about that earlier, right? So the Exeter pyramid is the flower is built on the root, And what's happened is we're in a race to the bottom right now. That's why I think we're going through all this. The West is saying, fine, we'll delever financially and we will take it on the chin. Our people will anyway. But we're not going to use your commodities anymore. And if you have no manufacturing, if you have no entrepreneurship, if you have no financial system, then you're not going to be able to network your raw materials better. So we're going to suffer. You're going to collapse. Without our demand, you're nothing. You're like, without our supply, you're nothing. And so the financial markets, as represented in silver, are shrinking. There's less collateral from the East. Let's pretend that all the silver's coming out of the East. But what happened is it doesn't have to be silver. It's oil. There's less oil to do deals on. Well, there's less oil to do deals, then there's less contracts. There's less leverage. If there's less contracts, then there's less spreading. If there's less spreading, we can't do our silver to oil trade. Whatever. Somebody's got that trade out there, right? So what ends up happening is you break the financial markets. They shrink. So that's the second thing, right? And the third thing is specific to precious metals. The world is going into a mercantilistic phase. It's going from global to regional. I want my silver here. I want my gold here. I only do trade with my neighbor next door. I borrow sugar from him. I don't want your global sugar. I want this sugar. It's here. It's closer. There's no poison in it. So what happens is people are either in fear of or having their silver called away or just want it. And so at the commodity level, right? So you've got the open interest is shrinking because people want their silver. Okay, fine. Then you've got the open interest is shrinking because of the definancialization of the world, right? The world is ripped apart. There's no Eastern financial business. The West is shrinking. We can't get their commodity, right? And the third reason, although it's all related, is there's physically less silver above ground available. And so the rehypothecation train closes down. So for all the right reasons, from micro to macro, there's demand for coins, right? Right? JP Morgan, what did they do? What did they do 6 months ago? They took their gold from their FX account and put it in gold. Why all of a sudden? Don't people understand that there's a reason they're doing this? Why did I'm getting like putting my tinfoil hat on here, but it's right. Why did Germany demand their gold back in 2017? I mean, they didn't get it then. Why did they start the ball rolling? Why did JP Morgan? Because everyone's rolling up their sidewalks and being careful. And that means there's less contracts available. And whoever the poor guy is with the short silver contract, 10 expirations from now, is going to have to make delivery. And they're going to get screwed.